evening, everyone. I'm Barb Dufferin. I'm the new superintendent here in Mahtomedi, and so I want to thank you for inviting me to my first celebration of excellence. I've heard all about this, and so I'm really excited to be part of it this evening and to get to witness all of these great scholars here this evening and their teachers as well. I know I haven't been here to witness your growth and your accomplishments along the way, and so I am grateful to be celebrating your amazing academic achievements nonetheless. For many of you tonight reflects your abilities to consistently achieve at high levels, to persevere through challenges, and to continuously achieve your goals. You've worked hard. And we're excited to see what you can do when you apply that same ethic in the pursuit of your passions as you launch your unique paths after high school. Now, this longtime educator, honestly, finds something even more powerful this evening, as you have the opportunity to recognize that you didn't do this alone. None of us did. You will be introducing us to teachers throughout your career that had an impact on your life and your success. And what an opportunity you have to share your gratitude for those who supported you and guided you. What a gift that is for you, really. Because practicing gratitude is a key to being more joyful in life, more hopeful, less stressed. And in addition to your continued academic success, everyone here in this room wants that for you, a joyful life. And so when I was your age, a book came out, Everything I Need to Know I Learned in Kindergarten. Now, as a math teacher and someone who really loves spreadsheets, I don't actually believe that. But I can say that in kindergarten, I was still watching Mr. Rogers, who said, "I believe it's a fact of life that what we have is less important than what we make out of what we have." And I do believe that. Gratitude. And so, as we start our meal, which we already have, let me say again how grateful I am to be here and to celebrate you. I'm grateful for your commitment, students, to your education, for all that you have done and all that you will do to impact the world.
Had a nice time at our table getting to know each other better. And tonight, we are going to recognize the students in the class of 2019 who are in the top 10% of their class academically. Each student here tonight has invited one staff member that exemplifies excellence in education and has a positive impact on their lives. For a student to invite only one staff member is not an easy task. For most teachers, the greatest reward for their job is seeing students thrive and succeed. They just want to know that they've helped. Thus, one of the most important things students can do for their teachers is to say thank you. Tonight is a celebration for students, staff, and families. Tonight's event is possible due to many generous donations. Donors have contributed. We have some donors that have contributed every year since 2001, and tonight we will recognize two of those sponsors at the conclusion of our program. The next part of the evening is a tradition where our Mahtomedi Teacher of the Year speaks to us at the celebration of excellence. And tonight I am so honored to introduce Mrs. Michelin Newman. A little bit about Michelin. She has taught for 17 years. The last 11 have been in Mahtomedi, teaching kindergarten at Wildwood Elementary School. She is a graduate of Bethel University, has her master's degree from Hamline University in literacy education. She is the proud mother of 4 children, with 3 of them currently in college. Her husband, Keith Newman, also teaches in Mahtomedi at our middle school. Michelin loves adventure and traveling to new places, and oftentimes finds that adventure through her other love, which is reading. Please join me in welcoming Michelin Newman.
Thank you for inviting me to speak tonight. It's funny having my glasses. Hold on, maybe I can read without them. I can't see you if I can see my notes. I can't see my notes if I can see you. So thank you for inviting me to speak tonight. It is an honor to share my thoughts with you. I spend my days with 5- and 6-year-olds at the beginning of their school career, so this is a treat tonight to see all of you in your final days of high school. As I look around, I feel a connection with many of you. I can identify with the teachers in this room who care deeply about their students' lives and well-being. I have connections with parents who are proud of your children and want the best for them. And finally, students. I distinctly remember graduating from high school and wondering what was next for me and how I would achieve my dreams for the future. In August, I had the privilege of speaking to the Mahtomedi school staff about a belief that is cornerstone in my life. It is the idea of hope. My goal today is to encourage students and guests and to remind you of a powerful perspective that you can have, being a hopeful person. So what is hope? Hope is a confident expectation and desire for something good in the future. Hope is the feeling that what is wanted can be had or that events will turn out for the best. Hope is dynamic, active, directive, and life-sustaining. Optimism, mind you, is different from hope. Optimism is simply the belief that good things will happen. But hope deals with whether one can find a way to make good things happen. You are all here because you are high achievers. I'm going to assume that you work hard and have been gifted with a considerable talent for learning. It's logical to me that you want to continue to be a high achiever. So I have a secret for you. Studies show that hopeful people are demonstrably higher achievers in life. And research says that teens and young adults that are hopeful report a higher life satisfaction and levels of happiness. High school students, you're under considerable stress today. You worry about a wide range of issues, including academic performance, navigating your on and offline identities, family pressure, peer pressure. Our world is increasingly complex, socially, environmentally, and politically. We all face struggles. It is a certainty in life. The capacity to develop a hopeful mindset is vitally important, not only for succeeding in life, but for enjoying it as well. So how do we cultivate hope? Tonight I will talk about 4 practical steps. First, set clear goals that you value. Your goals should be meaningful and have depth. Meaningful goals are ones that build your character while you are working towards them. The greatest benefit to your life will not be your accomplishments, but rather what happens inside you while you're moving towards your goal. Second, navigate flexible and deliberate pathways. Pathways are the mental means to all the wonderful things you desire. Take that meaningful goal and break it into steps. About 5 years ago, my husband and I were faced with a daunting task of navigating the immigration system to bring our son to the United States. And the best thing we could do was think of the process in steps. What could we do today? Just one thing that would work toward the goal of having Ken Love join our family. In practical terms, start with the first closest step and build incrementally toward the desired result. Keep in mind that flexibility and grace for yourself are important because we need to be people who are willing to change or adjust when obstacles stand in our pathway. Live with a hopeful mindset that through hills and valleys, our paths will change. It's okay to mess up and have to navigate a new way. Third, develop self-efficacy. This is belief in your ability to perform acts that will lead to achieving a goal, and it is essential. A practical psychological tool to increase self-efficacy is identifying obstacles, thought blocks, and then reframing them or replacing them with positive interventions. Reconstructing the way we look at failures and feel about them helps a lot in changing the way we think about ourselves. For example, a person with high self-efficacy is not likely to perceive losses as personal shortcomings. They would instead try to cope with it and find ways to handle it positively. Building self-efficacy allows us to understand that challenges and failures are inevitable. By continuing to believe in ourselves and our abilities, we can surely attain fulfillment. And finally, the fourth one, inspire hope in others. You are sitting with people right now that influenced you in some way for good. Many of you have been involved in serving others in some way throughout your high school career. Keep that as a priority in your life. Hope works little by little, person by person, creating a ripple effect that can benefit more and more people. Each of us, in our role, can care for someone else. You will face adversity, and I imagine you already have. Hope is what gets you up when society tells you that you should be down. Hope is what keeps you persisting despite adversity. Take a moment to think back on your life so far. What factors brought you here today? Goals, pathways, believing in yourself, and others caring for you have all brought you to this very moment. Each of your journeys looks different, and yet here we all are. So now it's your turn to take that next step. Hope, a confident expectation and desire for something good in the future. Your life can be different, better, and no matter what life has in store for you, you do in fact have the internal strength, fortitude, and forbearance to overcome it all, and to not only survive, but thrive and succeed. I'll close with a quote by Woodrow Wilson. You are not here merely to make a living. You are here in order to enable the world to live more amply, with greater vision, with a finer spirit of hope and achievement. You are here to enrich the world, and you impoverish yourself if you forget the errand. Thank you.
Michael and I'd like to ask you to come back to the podium. We have a little gift for you. Tonight, each of our students and their honored teacher will receive a book written by Gail King, Note to Self, and we have a copy for you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And now we're to the point where we will recognize our students and their honored teacher and staff members. When I call your name, please come to the front, and Ms. Wagner and Ms. Dufferin have a gift and will recognize you. First student is Thomas Atkins and his honored teacher, Ms. Janine Nelson.
In trying to write this, I wasn't exactly sure how to start, as there are so many wonderful things to say about you, Thomas. For 2 years, you sat next to my desk. I attempted to expand your historical and governmental knowledge, and you did all my math for me. It was perfect. Thomas, you are truly an extraordinary young man. You constantly demonstrate kindness, patience, compassion, a true love of learning, and definitely a keen sense of humor. For heaven's sakes, you tried to teach me binary code. Who does that? The sky is the limit for you, young man, and I can't wait to see what is in store for you, as you have and will continue to make a difference in the lives of those you meet. You have made me a better teacher. Finally, I would be amiss if I didn't say the following this evening. Tonight, thanks to you, Thomas, I tip my hat to President James Garfield. But I still say, long live Teddy Roosevelt. Thank you. I tip my hat to President James Garfield.
Our next student is Samuel Bell and his honored teacher, Mrs. Nancy Brennan.
He's tall and blonde and handsome. He's also very bright. And that is true of all of you being honored here tonight. Sam indeed has many interests. He's a truly fine athlete. The challenge of the matchups makes him eager to compete. Whether passing for a touchdown or balls switching through the net, Sam finds real satisfaction in the challenges. And yet, it's really in the classroom that Sam does truly shine. When writing AP essays, which were always more than fine, or solving that math problem which perplexed the class so long, Sam quietly and steadily proved his answer was not wrong. With solid, firm-set values and loyalty in place, Sam's life at Mahtomedi High has been one of joy and grace. Sam, when going off to college, as you will in a short while, I know without a hint of doubt you'll make your professors smile. Sam Bell, you will do well.
Our next student is Christine Brennan and her honored teacher, Mr. Adam Byer.
8.5 years ago, Christine Brennan walked into my 4th grade high-achieving math class. This June, she'll be strolling out of Mahtomedi High School with a full scholarship to the University of Minnesota to study mathematics and computer science. Coincidence? I guess all of those daily Tootsie Roll challenges and sideways arithmetic from Wayside School problems paid off. More likely, it was Christine's eagerness to learn and her determination and willingness to take on any challenge that have brought her so much success. I'm not sure if she still does this, but she did seem to take some joy in correcting my mistakes during lessons. At least someone was paying attention. Congratulations, Christine, for all you've accomplished and the wonderful things you have yet to achieve. I'm humbled and honored that you've included me as a minor contributor to your success. Thank you.
Our next student is Elsa Dewey and her teacher, Mrs. Claudine Goodrich.
Elsa, as a young girl in middle school, displayed all of the qualities we as a society would want in our young people. She was always energetic in and out of the classroom, and she expressed her ideas with clarity and passion. Elsa surrounded herself with strong friends and reflected kindness toward others. I always smile when I think of Elsa because she was a fireball of enthusiasm, possessing grace, wisdom, courage, thoughtfulness, and honesty. I encourage you to go into politics, Elsa, because those qualities are exactly what we need in our world today. Thank you for being such an amazing young woman, and I am excited and proud to watch the journey you will now embark on. I encourage you to go forth and keep the needs of those around you as a high priority as you did when you were a young girl. I wish you great success and happiness always. From your crabby old English teacher, Mrs. Goodrich.
Our next student is Hana Guralnik and her teacher, Miss Carly Vale.
For those of you who have had the privilege of having Hannah as a student, you know how dedicated, determined, and organized she is. Despite her absences due to soccer or other travels, she constantly stays on top of her studies and excels in just about anything she sets her mind to. Besides being an excellent student, she's also a student of high character. She's trustworthy, kind, and displays how much she cares about the people in her life. She will go out of her way to make sure others are being their best selves. In fact, Hannah even encourages me when I'm having an off day and brings out the best aspects of me as a teacher. She radiates positive energy and is a joy to be around. I have no hesitations that Hannah will exceed beyond the classroom and beyond high school. I wish the best for her, and I cannot wait to see how far she'll go. Good luck, Hannah. I'll miss you around here.
Our next student is Abbey Halvorsen and her teacher, Mrs. Jackie Halvorsen.
Hi, Abby. I am so honored to share this evening with you. You're such a great kid and come from such a nice family. Oh, wait, that's me. Restart. Abby, I won't embarrass you with personal memories about your childhood, giving me stink eye when you were 2, or ripping up books in your crib, or going on that date with, oops, slipped again. My school memory of you comes from your 10th grade honors English class. You had such a fun class, and it felt like one big family. And yes, I know you were my family, but you and the other students created a separate school family. It was a warm, welcoming environment. You teased me about silly things, called me mom to amuse your friends, and then your friends called me mom to amuse themselves. It was fun. Don't forget that warmth and kindness shown to me and your classmates. That's just as important as all your academic achievements. That's it. I love you. Congratulations.
Our next student is Abigail Hanson and her teacher, Mrs. Mary Marshall.
I am so proud of you, Abby Hanson. I can picture you entering room 12 at the old Wildwood School. Your mom and 2 sisters are with you. At times, you needed their support and encouragement to start your day in first grade. Over the years, I had the pleasure of keeping you in my life. You would come to my first grade classroom to help when your school day ended at the middle school. I worked with your mom for a few years, and I would always ask her how you were doing in school and in hockey. So many changes since first grade, Abby. You are still so kind and incredibly respectful, but you are now so strong and independent. You are ready to take on the new adventures that are waiting for you. I couldn't be more proud of you.
Our next student is Noah Harbinson and his teacher, Hans Harlan.
I have been fortunate enough to have had Noah in a few classes. I have seen his creativity and problem-solving abilities come out in an engineering course, and his questioning and curious mind in science. On top of his curiosity in school, Noah is a kind person who always has a smile on when you see him. One of my favorite memories of Noah is something that actually happened on a regular basis. In our Earth and Space class, Noah would regularly come up with follow-up questions about what we were learning about that day. Some such questions were about the possible shapes of the universe or hypothesizing what would happen if you fell into a black hole, which always resulted in further discussion and even more thought-provoking questions. Noah, I am confident that your curious and ever-questioning mind will take you a long way as you explore this vast universe in the years to come. Congratulations on your hard work and recognition this evening, and thank you for including me in this wonderful celebration.
Our next student is Claire Helpmann and her teacher, Mrs. Angela Helly.
Claire, thank you for this honor. I am so happy to have you in class because you make class better. Where do I begin to talk about how wonderful you are? I will start by highlighting your personality test score and conscientiousness. You scored high. I mean extremely high. Actually one of the highest scores I've seen. This wonderful personality characteristic is part of the reason you are here tonight. You are careful and thorough in your work. Your attention to detail and desire to learn has attributed to your success in the classroom. However, it's not only your conscientiousness that I admire, it's also your personality. Your sincere personality is hard to describe in words. You are truly altruistic and very intrinsically motivated. Yes, I had to use some psych terms. The compassion you show for others and your kind heart stands out to those around you. I am so proud of you and cannot wait to hear about what's next in your life. I have been blessed to have you as a student, and I'm thankful to be here with you today.
Our next student is Elliott James and his teacher, Mrs. Anastasia Eldridge.
I first met Elliott at new student orientation before he started at MHS as a sophomore. I was a little concerned about him jumping into our math sequence, as many students have difficulty with this transition. When I expressed my concerns to Elliott, he smiled and said, "Oh, I can do it." As the year in calculus unfolded, I would check in with him, and always the same smile and easy confidence. And Elliott did do it very well. Elliott is brilliant, as are many of my students, but 3 characteristics that set him apart are his ability to communicate mathematics, the fact that he is willing to take risks and step outside his comfort zone, and, like me, he's got sass. This Zephyr has a great future ahead, and I am proud to have been part of his experience at MHS.
Our next student is Lillian Johnson and her teacher, Mrs. Sarah Lawrenson.
I'm an English teacher, so I'm going to use a metaphor to talk about Lily Johnson. Lily and I are really into yoga, so I'm going to use a yoga metaphor. In the practice of yoga, many poses ask you to balance, but you stay balanced by finding your drishti, an unmoving spot in the room that you can focus on, even when you're wobbling. I admire that Lily has found her drishti, a balance point, a center in her life that keeps her steady despite all the pressure of academic and athletic achievement. After her team won the girls' state soccer championship, I asked her if she felt sad about it all being over. She told me, "No, I'm ready to have more space in my life for the other things I care about, to pursue
pursue the other passions I've had to set aside. So that's what I mean about Lily's drishti. Her guiding values are at the core of what she does. So where senior year is a time where many lose their balance, looking around at those who are wobbling, I admire so much how Lily maintains focus on her drishti that holds her steady.
Our next student is Elizabeth Kangas and her teacher, Ms. Beth Reifus.
From the first day Elizabeth entered the choir room, I knew our choir program would be a better place with her in it. Her passion for singing, her excellent music skills, and respect for all people have been such a welcome addition to our community. I have always felt a kinship with Elizabeth because of our similar choir rehearsal behavior. She learns quickly and is a quiet leader. If it wasn't for her beautiful singing voice, you wouldn't know she was in the room. I can't say how excited I am to know that Elizabeth will continue singing in college. Congratulations, Elizabeth. It's great to see a fellow quiet role model be recognized for their hard work and talent.
Our next student is Elizabeth Cray and her teacher, Mr. Chad Garles.
Congratulations, Lizzie. I'm so lucky to have had you in both biology and physiology while you've been at MHS. You bring a calm, unassuming, yet determined attitude with you into the classroom, and this will take you far in life. When a hard concept comes your way, you don't get flustered. You usually just tilt your head, nod a bit, and give off a little, and dig in. Not only does this let you accomplish great things, but it reassures those around you that together you can figure it out. I'm so excited to see where your path will take you, and I'm certain you will achieve whatever goals you set your mind to.
Our next student is Lia Larson and teacher, Miss Virginia Mancini.
My favorite memory from Lia as a freshman in my freshman English class were her smile and her gratitude. She always had a smile on her face, so when I looked out into the crowd of students, she'd always be smiling back. And if she had that smile but kind of a quizzical look on her face, I knew I had to rephrase whatever I was teaching. But what struck me most was her gratitude. She was so thankful every day, and it was such a role model for her students and for me. She would thank me at the end of every class, and even after the end of a lesson, she'd come up and say, "Thanks, Miss Mancini, I learned this today." It was a wonderful experience.
Our next student is Kyle Larson and his teacher, Ms. Lori Gerver.
Kyle was in my third grade accelerated math class. He worked hard and he loved being challenged. He was quietly confident and competitive, but he never boasted about his ability. As other classmates blurted out and talked over each other, he actively listened and took it all in. It was a pleasure being his teacher. I am so proud of this accomplishment, and I look forward to hearing about all of his future successes.
Our next student is Amy Mang and her teacher, Ms. Liz Hain.
I had Amy in my 9th grade English class, but it wasn't until the next year, her sophomore year, that I really got to know her, and it was during Lunch and Learn. Amy and her cohort of friends were my regulars. We would talk about school, but then we quickly branched off into other topics, like family, politics, future plans of the girls, and it was through these discussions that I saw the complete Amy. I saw a caring, driven, dedicated, and empathetic young woman. The next year, Amy returned for our lunch sessions. And is it weird to confess that a 16-year-old gave me life advice? Because seriously, that's exactly what she did. I found myself looking forward to what Amy had to say about the topic of the day. I'm so grateful for the time we spent, and I know that she'll continue to impart her knowledge and passion to so many others during a lifetime of lunch discussions.
Our next student is Calvin Molitor and his teacher, Mr. Dan Murphy.
The last time I saw Calvin Molitor was when I just missed running him over in a Menards parking lot. I was working on my four-wheel drift, and I didn't see him until it was too late. He was just able to dive into the cart corral. I could see he seemed unhurt, so I waved as I burnt rubber while making my getaway. Somehow, Calvin was able to reach me from beyond the educational sphere, and he invited me to this dinner. So I took some time off from building my coffin to reflect on some things. So who was the Molitor, and what did he do? He did 3 things. 1, he had a great sense of curiosity. 2, he always tried his best. He never once mailed it in. And 3, he was a polite and respectful person to everyone in the classroom. What an excellent foundation to build your life around. So Calvin, if you combine my magic formula of being persistent with your 3-step process of curiosity, great work ethic, and polite and respectful behavior, I see only one outcome. You're going to go out and own the world.
Our next student is Emma Nelson and her teacher, Mr. Matt Oswald.
Good evening. I'm honored to be here tonight as Emma Nelson's guest. Emma has grown into a strong, intelligent, caring, and competitive young lady over the past 4 years. As our wrestling team manager, Emma always used her talents to support and serve others, including myself. Emma is headed to Grinnell in the fall, and I'm excited to watch her thrive academically and athletically. I wish her all the best. One final item. I would like to personally thank Emma for being a driving force behind the Takedown Cancer and Strikeout Cancer efforts here at Mahtomedi, where she has helped raise over $7,000 for the Randy Shaver Cancer Foundation. Emma, I wish you all the best going forward in the future. Thank you.
Our next student is Julianne Peterson and her teacher, Miss Diane Chernhorn, who could not be with us tonight.
OMG, Juliana, eres una estudiante increíble. As I watched you grow in Spanish class with such a sense of responsibility and ownership in your own learning, it certainly is no surprise that you are here tonight celebrating your excellence. You consistently put your all into the class, and when nobody else would volunteer an answer or an opinion, you always came through. Your beautiful, quiet, persistent, steady, and true learning style has taken you far. I am so proud of you and very fortunate to have been one of your teachers. Oh, the places you'll go. With your solid work ethic and now being fluent in English, French, and Spanish, imagine what you could do. Congratulations and thank you so much for this honor. Lo siento que no podría estar contigo esta noche. Buena suerte y nos vemos pronto.
Our next student is Lindsey Reyes and her teacher, Mr. Craig Michelson.
Hi, I want to take the time to talk about Lindsey Reyes. Lindsey Reyes is a student that is probably in the top 5 of artists that I've had as a teacher since being here at Mahtomedi High School. What makes her stand out is her extreme work ethic, the fact that she is extremely, extremely humble in regards to how talented she is and the work that she produces. And she has people all the time telling her about how amazing she is, and she'll just sit there and she'll kind of smile. And I think she just never realizes how good she is. And for me, it's just a blessing and an amazing thing to be able to work with her every day.
Our next student is Eric Schmidt and his teacher, Mr. Brian Farmer, who could not be with us tonight.
Eric Schmidt, is quite an honor to be chosen as your honor teacher here. I do have to apologize for not being there tonight. I wish I could join you, but as you know, I do get to see quite a bit of you. After all, first semester, I saw you both second and third hour in Fab Lab and then in physics, but that wasn't good enough for you. Second semester now, you've had add an extra class with me, so I would see you 3 hours during the day. But a kid like you, it's quite all right. You're one of the hardest working, most energetic students I've had a chance to work with this year. Good luck in your future plans, Eric.
Our next student is Emma Shores and her teacher, Mr. Jim Lane.
Emma, I've never actually had you in class, but apparently you're doing pretty well if you're sitting here tonight. Academics really are not something that define you in my mind. For the past 4 years, I've had you on Student Leadership Council as a member and now as a co-president of the council. And leadership is something that I think defines you as an individual. And that leadership is defined by your ability to have amazing empathy for other human beings. That empathy combined with your undying compassion has led to a true passion for learning and for advocating for change. Keep that empathy close, for we need it now more than ever in today's divided world. Keep your passion and your undying work ethic strong as you move forward. Good luck. It's been a blast.
Our next student is Noah Skillings and his teacher, Mr. Dave Wald.
Noah, it is an honor to be your invited teacher for Celebration of Excellence. You are the epitome of what a student athlete should be. That's right, Connor Stoker, did you hear that? Noah is the epitome of a student athlete. Most important, Noah, despite all your success in athletics and academics, you have remained a confident yet humble young man, and you still have all your teeth. Noah, it has been a pleasure to have you in class, and I can't wait to hear of all your future successes.
Our next student is Ryan Smith and his teacher, Mr. Cale Bacon.
Ryan Smith is a great kid to have on the football team as well as in our school community. As a new employee at the school, it's not always easy to feel comfortable, but the leadership qualities that Ryan shows as well as his outgoing personality made it really easy for me to feel at home. His attitude shines in all that he does, and I wish him nothing but the best of luck in his future endeavors and know he will do excellent things.
Our next student is John Stelmach and his counselor, Mr. John Atkins.
Johnny Stelmach. I've gotten to know Johnny as well or better than any student I've had the chance to work with during my 23 years as a counselor. We met second semester, grade 9. Johnny was taking drawing with Mr. Michelson, and he was worried he wasn't going to do very well. Truth is, Johnny's a fine artist, but he came down to our office really concerned and in a panic. Right, John? In fact, Mr. Michelson is one of Johnny's favorite teachers to this day. Johnny puts a lot of thought into his decisions. Every class he would think about taking through Century, he's in the PSEO program, he would always check out ratemyprofessor.com to determine if it was a good fit, and he'd ask my opinion too, as if I knew who the professors were. Johnny, thank you for letting me be a part of your high school experience. I'm proud to say that I'm your counselor, and no matter what you choose to pursue at the University of St. Thomas, you're going to be great. Believe in yourself. You've got greatness within.
Our next student is Connor Stoker, who could not be with us tonight, and his honored teacher, Mr. Danny Jaderholm.
I've had the privilege of teaching, coaching, and working alongside Connor during his junior and senior years at Mahtomedi High School. Connor was a fabulous student in our human geography course, someone whom I could trust with participation, accountability, and maturity, which is pretty hard to come by with a group of junior boys. I've coached Connor during his junior and senior years on the varsity soccer team, achieving goals, building relationships, and learning lessons of perseverance. Finally, and perhaps the most enjoyable time spent with Connor, was when he was my TA during the fall of 2018. Here, Connor would help me organize, prepare, and gain the perspective of a student while creating lessons. Yet, above all of this, Connor will not only go down in my book as my first TA, but also as a young man who I could depend on, that I could trust, that I could genuinely look forward to talking to, and someone who I hope to stay in contact with because of his affable personality, extraordinary wisdom, and widespread compassion towards others. All the best wherever life takes you.
Our next student is Luigi Vigi and his teacher, Dr. Kelly Wilkie.
Luigi has a level of maturity not commonly seen in high school students and that I've not typically observed. This level of maturity, coupled with his sense of humor, makes him really special. Luigi is well-liked and respected by his peers. During his time in my AP chemistry classroom, when there were activities that required 3 or 4 students in a group, Luigi was highly sought after by his classmates. To his credit, he changed up who he worked with each time, exemplifying his ability and comfort level working with a variety of peers. I'm tremendously excited that Luigi is choosing a path forward in chemical engineering or biochemistry. I believe he will be a significant contributor to any path he chooses.
Our next student is Tiana Warner and her teacher, Mrs. Rebecca Hurd.
I was very excited to get this invitation from Tiana. I was lucky enough to have Tiana in both chemistry and biology. She is obviously a very good student. She is very smart and she works hard, but she is also a very fun person. She has a great sense of humor and made me laugh all the time. She is most importantly a good person with very loyal friends.
Our next student is Samantha Westland and her honored teacher, Ms. Lori Wadas, who could not be with us tonight.
Samantha, I'm so sorry I could not be there this evening to celebrate all your wonderful accomplishments. 2 years ago, our journey began as you entered Accelerated Algebra 2. Some crazy teacher had assigned summer homework, and on day 3, you were testing already. Your wide-eyed, eager to learn but nervous adventure had started. Midway through first semester, through a conversation where we both shared sides of ourselves not often observed by others around us, we developed a plan. Through hard work and determination, you grew to be a more confident, resilient, and persevering young woman. I see you so often third hour this year in the library, radiating confidence, helping your peers, and always with a smile and laughter that lights up the room. As you move forward, I wish you the best in all you do. You have shown me determination, strength, perseverance, and resilience that I hope to emulate in my own life. Although I was your teacher, you have taught me so much more. So thank you, and keep up the amazing job.
Our next student is Asha Williams and her honored teacher, Mr. Mike Moeller.
Where to begin with Asha Williams? First of all, let me say thank you for selecting me this evening to be here as your guest at Celebration of Excellence. It is truly an honor. Secondly, Asha Williams has grit. There have been very few students whom I have encountered in my teaching career that possess as much grit and determination as Miss Williams. Watching Asha succeed over the last 4+ years in all areas, but especially in music and the performing arts department, has been truly inspiring. I say 4+ because my first interaction with you was when you were in 8th grade, stage managing the middle school theater productions. Immediately, I was struck by your strength, passion, and organization. It has been truly amazing to watch you grow into the person you are today, strong, persistent, passionate, and the work ethic that you possess is unmatched. I am thankful each day that you share your abilities with our music and performing arts department, where your daily contributions have left us stronger. In closing, I leave you with this quote by Maya Angelou, as I think that Asha represents, but is not limited by these words. My mission in life is not merely to survive, but to thrive, and to do so with some passion, some compassion, some humor, and some style.
And our next student is Vienna Windish and honored teacher, Mr. Jan Nelson.
Vienna has been an extremely considerate, energetic, and dedicated student. As her instructor, Vienna has taken and excelled in several sections of pottery. She has shown a high level of passion for this area and continually strives to improve her knowledge and understanding and skill level. Unfortunately, she decided to take EMT classes and is trying to make a difference and help people instead of taking my class this year. But I guess we can let it go since she's preparing for her career. Windish, it's been a pleasure.
And now it is my honor to introduce Ms. Luann Wagner, Associate Principal at the high school.
At this time, I would like to invite Lael Rameli to come to the podium.
Lael has been with the Celebration of Excellence since its inception in 2001. She has worked hard to find funding to make this night an ongoing reality. She never gives up, and we appreciate her enthusiasm and all that she has done for our school and our community. Lael, thank you so much.
I want to thank all of you, students, parents, grandparents, teachers, administrators, and past and present school board members for coming tonight. This is a special event, and it is only possible thanks to the generosity of our sponsors. You will see the names listed on the back of the program. We've been fortunate to have several sponsors who have supported the Celebration of Excellence year after year after year. Many of them are here this evening. Tonight we are recognizing two of the longtime sponsors. The first is Chris Dittburner, co-owner of Salon Chevet in White Bear Lake. Chris's son Jordan graduated from Mahtomedi in 2010 and her son Trevor in 2014. Chris has supported the Celebration of Excellence every year since it began in 2001. When asked what she values most about this event, she says, "It is a sincere dedication from the teaching staff at every level and how they affect our students." She does the flowers every year. That's what her contribution is. Tonight we are also honoring Kelly and Eric Hendrickson, owners of the Mahtomedi Liquor Barrel. They too have sponsored the Celebration of Excellence since our beginning 18 years ago. Kelly and Eric support this event every year because we love the opportunity to interact with students, parents, and teachers and talk about our schools and our community. There's nothing else like it. Let's give a round of applause to Chris, Kelly, and Eric, and all of our sponsors.
Tonight has been a celebration of the excellence of the class of 2019 and their commitment to education, the excellence of our teachers and their commitment to our students, the excellence of our parents and their commitment to our district, the excellence of Mahtomedi School District to prepare our students for their future. Thank you for the great honor of working with such outstanding teachers, parents, and students. Thank you for being here tonight and have a safe drive home.